Okay. Metric mania. We're going to be talking about the metric system. So, here he is. So the metric system is what we use in science, and it's actually what most of the world use. So for example, if I looked up what is the temperature in South Africa. All right, so it says this is usually what you would see. If you were actually in South Africa, this is what it would say. They would say, oh yeah, it's 19 degrees outside. And you'd be like, what? It's freezing outside. But most of the world, when they do temperature, they use Celsius, okay? We happen to use Fahrenheit. So the United States uses Fahrenheit, but most of the world uses Celsius. And there's some type of crazy formula for you to switch between the two. But usually you could just Google it, right? So if we are, if you're driving, okay, or you're traveling somewhere, and you're looking at your speedometer in your car, or you're looking at the sign on the highway that tells you how fast you can go, what's that measured in?
Miles per hour.
Miles per hour, right? But if you ever paid attention to your speedometer, there's miles per hour, and then there's little numbers on the inside.
Kilometers per minute.
That's kilometers, not per minute, but per hour still, okay? So, and I'll show you what one looks like. So here, okay, so this is what usually what your speedometer in your car looks like. There's miles per hour, which is the numbers here, and then these little numbers in here are usually kilometers per hour. So next time you're in the car, look and you'll see, usually you have some cars that have like 2 dials like this, but usually it's just written on the inside. There'll be this one, and then there'll be like another set of numbers on the inside, okay? And that's because, once again, here in the States, we're special and we like to use miles per hour, but everybody else uses kilometers per hour. And the reason why it's easy to use kilometers is because if I said, instead of miles, you know, like say for instance, when if you happen to do a sport, right? And then you have something like, you have some stuff is measured in miles, and then some stuff is measured in feet. Like if you're a long jumper or something, you measure in feet, you don't measure in meters. If you jump, it's like, oh, they jumped 22 feet. But then if you're running around the track, they're like, it's 400 meters. But then if you're doing something else, it might be in inches. And it's like, how do I even convert between all those? Like, what if I want to know how many feet are in a mile, or how many inches are in 2 feet? There's no easy conversion for that. You really have to do a lot of math for that. With the metric system, which is what we're going to talk about today, it's really easy to convert because they have what they call a base unit. And what the base unit is, every number that you change to, like if I want to go from meters, like a meter stick, if I want to go from meters to centimeters or to kilometers, which is huge, or whatever, all I have to do is multiply or divide by some factor of 10. And so it's a lot easier versus saying there's 12 inches in a foot and 5,280 feet in a mile, I think. I could be wrong, but I think. Anyway, it's a lot easier to say there's 100 centimeters in a meter and there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. It's just it's always some even multiple of 10, okay? All right, so if you have this open, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of notes on this. So if you don't have this open, go ahead and get it open. And what I always recommend for you guys is the stuff we're gonna be doing, you need notebook paper, okay? So either you need to have a notebook or notebook paper or something where you're keeping all your notes, because you can put your answer sheet online, but really it's kind of You need to be able to write on something, okay? Like today, you're gonna need to be able to write. All right, so let me just mark a couple of these people present. All right. So when we're measuring stuff, I wanted you to make sure that when you give me an answer, unless I say you don't have to tell me what the unit is, when you give me a measurement, you should have a number and a unit, okay? So if you tell me, oh, the answer is 12, I'm probably gonna look at you and say 12 what? Is it 12 apples, 12 inches, 12 pounds, 12 grams, 12 cups? I don't know. So you have to make sure you give me a unit as well, okay? All right, so if you will go ahead and open up this Metric Mania, it should look like this whenever it opens. Okay. And I did have some people say it was hard to write in the box, but if you just change your font size, so let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. There's all these boxes, like for instance, when you turn this in, you don't have to fill this out if you wrote it on paper. Okay. This is just if you absolutely want to take your notes. And if you get ready to write in here, oops, and it's too big, or like in this one, if it's too big, just change your font size. So you can just decrease it down to like 10 or 11 or something. And then you should be able to write in there. Should be able to, let's see. There we go. So then you can just write in there. So you can change your font. 11 looks like it's a good size, okay? All right, so this is what we're gonna be working on today. The more that you guys participate, because I'm going to call on every single person at some point in time. So if you are not actually at your screen, you should be. So it's probably easier if your camera's on, but if you don't want to, that's fine. Just know, just pay attention because I am going to call on you, okay, at some point. I'm going to do my notes on my iPad. So you are taking notes as well, okay? And hopefully, this is a fairly small class. We might can get through the entire homework assignment together if people are participating. If not, the longer it takes when I sit and ask questions and I'm just sitting here like this waiting on someone to respond, the longer we're wasting homework time, all right? All right, so this is what we're starting out with. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. I'm going to reshare, but I'm going to reshare from my iPad. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. Perfect. All right, here we go. So anybody know how to finish the statement? King Henry died
drinking chocolate milk.
Yes, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain it, but it's just basically a shortcut. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. And this is the part where really right now, what we're doing is we're doing notes for this part right here. This top part, the Metric Mania, but it's probably easier if you take the notes on like paper, but it's totally up to you, okay? All right, so King Henry died, and I would be writing this, by drinking chocolate milk.
I don't know if it's just me, but I don't see any of the, did he write something down?
Miss Payne, I don't see anything that you're writing either.
Yeah.
It must be a delay. Let's see if it pops up. I keep forgetting to look at this screen to see if it pops up. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, I can tell it's, there it goes.
Now I see it.
Okay. I will try to go slow so that my iPad can keep up with me. I'm just so fast, rapid fast. All right, so King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. And I'll turn let me turn my iPad this way so you can, that way we can zoom in. It's flipping. There we go. I'm just zooming in so you can see it better. Okay. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. This is just a shortcut for us to know the different prefixes for conversions. So let's go back. Let's start really simple. And we're going to kind of skip around on this worksheet so I can make sure we understand some stuff. And then we'll get into like doing the work. Okay. So we're still taking notes. So when I say a prefix, pre means before. So if I say a liter, okay, I could put a prefix in front of that. So I could say a liter, or I can say a centiliter, or a kiloliter, or a decaliter. So the kilo, centi, hecto, milli, those are prefixes, okay? So what we're gonna start in, this box that says basic unit, okay? That's the box we're gonna start in, okay? So there are a lot of different units that we use to measure stuff, but we're gonna focus on 3 of them today. But, you know, for instance, grams, volumes measured in liters, meters, you have moles, you have amps, watts, ounce, that kind of thing, okay? So here are the basic units we're gonna focus on today, okay? The first one is grams, okay? And grams measures mass, okay? And then the next unit, we'll talk about the difference between mass and weight, but don't worry about that now, okay? Then we have liters, and I purposely wrote that with a capital L, okay? And liters measures volume, okay? So, you know, a lot of times when you buy your drinks, it might be in like liters, like a 2 liter or 3 liter or 1 liter, okay? And then the last one we're gonna focus on today is meters, okay? Any guesses on what meters measures? Starts with the L.
Length.
Yes, very nice. Measures length, okay? All right, now we have what we call symbols, okay? And it's just like the shortcut. So I don't have to write out the whole word gram, I'll do a G. And then for liters, I'll do a capital L. And then for meters, I'll do a M, okay? So those are our base units, okay? Those are our base units. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to focus on, this is just kind of this is going to be a shortcut for us to figure out how to convert between these. So now what we're going to focus on is the first letter of our King Henry thing. So we're going to focus on the K, the H, the D, the B, D, C, and M. Okay. So that's what we're going to focus on. All right, so the B, we're gonna start with the B just for a second because we already have that down here. So the B is just base unit, okay? So if you see G, L, or M, that's the base unit, okay? Now, K, what prefix do you know that starts with K?
Kilo.
Kilo, exactly. So here we're gonna say in this first box, I'm gonna put kilo, okay? That's the prefix, that's the one that starts with a K, okay? And some of these you probably haven't heard of, like last period, somebody was like, I never even heard of, the next one is gonna be hecto. They're like, I never even heard of that. I was like, there's literally like a whole bunch of them, but we're just gonna focus on a couple of them. Like a lot of them you actually know, you just don't think about it. Like if you really think about your phone or your computer, all the little pieces in it or for the information is called a byte, okay? But a byte is really, really, really small. So instead of talking about it in terms of how many bytes your phone has, or you could say like how much storage you have, instead of a byte, you could go up to a kilobyte. Kilobyte is still kind of small, so you could go up to a megabyte or a gigabyte, okay? Or even a terabyte. Terabyte is really big. But remember how we say, we're like, oh, how many gigs is your phone? That's a gigabyte, okay? So if we say, if your phone is 16 gigabytes, it is a whole lot of bytes, because a gigabyte is way bigger than a byte, okay? All right, so the next one we said is hecto. So this is hecto. Any guesses on the D? We actually have 2 Ds, so you may guess one of them. Any guesses on that one? No guesses? This one is a decabyte, okay? Or a deca, sorry, not decabyte. Byte would be a base unit, all right? And sometimes you may see it spelled this way, so you can write it either way, okay? All right, what about another D? Any guesses?
I think we're all clueless.
All clueless? Okay. Okay, so I'll tell you this one, but the next two, I'm not gonna tell you guys, so you're gonna have to guess it. This one is DECI, okay? This is DECI, okay? I am not going to tell you C or M, so you gotta guess it. You tell me. What if you put meter behind it? Something that starts with C and ends with meter. What'd you say?
Penny?
Yep, centi is this one. Centi. And the M.
Millie?
Yes, very nice. Millie, okay? All right. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to get that down, and then we're gonna go to the second page just for a second, okay? All right. All right, anybody still writing? You can unmute if you are, just tell me. All right, so now we're just gonna make sure we understand how to name these with the letters, okay? So I'm coming to, let's go to, Jamie, I'm gonna start with you, okay? All right, so now we want the abbreviation. So that's like the letters that we would write if we were looking. So you see how if you look at the lower part of the screen, like they have all these letters right here. That's what we're trying to figure out, but we're doing the top part, okay? All right, so Jamie, if I wanted to write kilogram shorthand, what letters would you use? What about kilo? What letter would you write?
KG.
KG, very nice. All right. Faith, how about meter? What letter do you want?
M.
Say again?
M.
Yes, very nice. M. Very good. Darshina, how about gram?
Say it again.
What about gram? I want the letter that you would use for the shorthand for gram.
G.
Yes, thank you. Said, how about milliliter? Milliliter. Milliliter.
ML.
ML, very nice. And when we do the L, guys, we want to make sure it's a capital L, okay? Joe, how about millimeter? Millimeter. Millimeter.
ML.
Millimeter.
Oh, MM. That's what.
MM. Very nice. All right. Fisher, how about liter?
Just a capital L.
Yes, capital L. Very nice. Cameron, how about kilometer? Kilometer, Cameron.
KM.
KM, very nice. KM. K for kilo, M for meter. Let's see. Ariana, how about centimeter? Centimeter. Centimeter.
CM.
CM, very good. And Whitney, how about milligram? Milligram.
Is it MG?
MG, very nice. Look at that, we just did 9 homework problems, fantastic. All right, so I just want you to note, okay, these, the ones I'm about to highlight, these are base units. So notice they look different because they do not have another letter in front of them, okay? So everything else, so, and I say that because the only thing that people, not because they don't know, just because sometimes your brain's moving too fast, sometimes when we get ready to go do these, people will say, oh, it's an M, that's milli. But for it to be milli, it would have to be M and another letter. If it's just M by itself, then it's meter, okay? All right, so let's go back to the first page, okay? And now we're gonna talk about how to convert these, okay? If you want to, for shorthand, okay, because after a while, I'm gonna have to move this where you can't see this top part. So what I do sometimes is I just write the letters for King Henry. So I'll say, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, okay? So I'll see that written at the top of people's pages all the time when they're doing these, okay? Now remember, you really need some paper for this because we're gonna like be moving our decimals kind of like what we did with scientific notation, okay? All right, here we go. Let me just move this down a little bit though. All right, so let's look at this very first one, okay? It says you have 1,000 mg. Eric, what's mg again?
Milligram.
Milligrams, okay? So we have 1,000 milligrams, okay? And they want to know if you have 1,000 milligrams, how many, if I converted that, how many grams is that equal to, okay? Now, a milligram is really, a gram is already small. A milligram is really small. So if I have 1,000 milligrams, I should have less grams, okay? But let's just figure out how to do this. So this is how I'm gonna do the first one, okay? You guys watch me, and then we'll do the next ones together. Okay, I got you. All right, so here we go. I have 1,000 milligrams, okay? So that tells me that I'm starting in the milli box, okay? So I have a gold dot right here. I'm putting this gold dot by milli, okay? All right, so if I have 1,000 grams, let me go back over here. I don't have a decimal written, but there is one. Said, where is the decimal though?
Between the 1 and 0.
Are you sure? If it's 1,000, 1,000. If I put it between the 1 and 0, that's 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so where would you, even though they didn't write the decimal, where is it really? Where do you think? Anybody want?
54. I don't know.
Okay, anybody want to help them out?
At the end.
It's at the
On the
very
right.
end. Yes, it's at the very end. So even though we don't have a decimal, if you don't see a decimal, you can assume it's at the very end, okay? All right, so here's where the decimal is, okay? Since we're in milligrams, we're gonna start at the milli box. So I'm gonna draw my dot again, okay? And we're trying to go to grams. So this is where my decimal is. We're at the milligram. We're trying to go to grams. That's in my base box, okay? So you see next to milli is centi, and then there's deci, and then there's the gram box. So I'm gonna move this 1, 2, 3 times, and that to the left, and that would get me to the box where it's just grams. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna move this 1, 2, 3 times, and now I know where my new decimal is. My new decimal is gonna be right here. So the answer to this is 1.000. And you don't have to put the 0.00, 0.000. You can just put 1 if you want, or you can put 1.0, or you can put 1.000, okay? All right, so that was the first one. So let's do the next one, okay? All right, we have 1 liter, okay, 1 liter. All right, Sid, I'm coming back to you one more time. 1 liter, where's my decimal, Sid?
Behind the 1.
Behind the 1, very nice. All right, so here's my decimal. All right, so I'm at liter, okay? Joe, can you tell me what box I'm in? Am I in kilo, hecto, deca, base unit, deci, centi, or milliliter if I'm at liter?
Milliliter?
I'm at, this is what we're looking at, this one right here first, right? So where is this?
You're frozen on my screen.
Am I frozen on your screen? Can you see
Yeah.
the highlight right here?
Yeah, I can see that now.
Okay, so where, the part that I just highlighted, where would, which box would that be in? Just the L.
I don't know.
Okay, so this is just the L, there's no prefix. Fisher, where do you think we would start?
The basic unit box.
Yes, the basic unit. This is just an L, okay? And so if I have just an L, there's just an L right here, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is now, Joe, I'm trying to move to milliliter, okay? Which is what box you said. So I'm gonna go from here. Everybody should see my gold dot in a second. It's coming up, there it is. All right, I'm trying to move to milliliter because that's what it said. They want to know how many milliliters. So I'm going to take this dot, I'm going to move it 1, will put me at deci, 2, will put me at centi, 3, will put me at milliliter. So I moved 3 times to the right. So I'm going to take this decimal, I'm going to move it 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. Here's my new decimal. All right, and I'm gonna fill it in with some zeros. There's a 0, there's a 0, there's another pocket for another 0. So this is 1,000. Okay. All right, let's do the next one. 160 centimeters, 160 centimeters. Hopefully everyone knows where our decimal is. It is in the very back. Okay. Leilani, what box do you think we're starting in? This says 160 centimeters. What box do you think we're starting in?
Centi.
Centi, very nice. All right. And then they're trying to get to mm. Dominic, what box are we trying to move to?
We're trying to get the mm.
Yes. Or what's that first M stand for?
Milli.
Yes. All right, so Leilani said we're starting at centi. Dominic says we're trying to move to milli, so that's one place to the right. Okay, so let me just show this again, just in case people aren't understanding. This says centimeter. I'm highlighting it right now. So that means we're in this box, centimeter. Then they want us to go to millimeters. That's the mm. So they want us to move to this box. Okay, so I started at this box and I moved one time to the right to get to milli. So now I'm going to come over here, my decimal that I had behind that 160, I'm going to move it one time to the right. Here is my new decimal, and I'm just going to fill in a 0 right here. So that is 1600 or 1600. All right, any questions thus far? Okay, all right. So I think we're doing pretty good. I think we'll be able to get some of these done. So let's see. All right, 14 kilometers or km. All right, I'm gonna start using my little letters right here because I've zoomed in, okay? So I got 14 kilometers. Cameron, what box am I in? Tell me where my decimal is and tell me what box I'm starting in. There, Cameron?
Yeah.
Can you tell me where my decimal is to start?
Basic unit.
So first tell me where my decimal is.
Oh,
It's either in front of the 1, between the 1 and 4, or behind the 4. What do you think? Like right now, even though it's not written, where would you put a decimal? Okay, if I put it in front of the 1, that would be like 0.14. If I put it between the 1 and the 4, that's 1.4. What if I put it behind the 4? Then what is that? Would that be 14 still? I think it would. Okay, so this says KM. The first letter is what, Cameron? How about Whitney? What's the first letter? What box would we be starting in?
Kilo.
Kilo, all right.
Wait.
So, yeah, you're right. There's a KM, so we will be starting right here. So I'm just doing it right here now, all right? And we're trying to move to M. Jamie, where would the M be?
Wait, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
We're starting at kilo and they're trying to get us to this M right here. So where would that be in the boxes?
At the end.
The N is just
Oh
one.
no, meters is the basic units.
Yes, it is. It's the basic unit. So we're gonna move 1, 2, 3. This is where basic unit is. I'm sorry, it's coming up. I'll do it again. I'll do it in a different color. It's going slow. But it's 3 places. So 1 becomes 2, 3. It would be at the basic unit. All right, it's going slow. There we go. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to move this 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Right here. Okay. Fill it in with some zeros. Oh, Okay, let me, I don't know what happened. Let's see. It should pop back up. Sorry. It's coming. There we go. All right, so 3 places. So 1, 2, 3. So this is 14,000. Okay. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, because I do want us to get some more problems done. So let me tell you, let me tell you what we're gonna do for homework, and then we'll just work on the homework until class ends. All right, so you do not have to do, go away. You don't have to do this one. You don't have to do this one, all right? You do have to do these last 2 that we didn't do, but we'll come back to that, all right? Then on the second page, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, you do not have to do those, okay? So 16 through 21, you don't have to do those. All right. And then we're gonna do some practice problems. I'm gonna let some people pick the problems they would like for me to do. So there's 1 through 15. Those you do have to finish. So Whitney, Eric, Brandon, and Annis, you guys give me a problem. And then if I can get to more people, I'll get to them. But they have their cameras on, so I'll let them start with them. So figure out one that you would want me to do, 1 through 15, and we'll do them together. Which one, Whitney?
10.
Which one?
10.
10. All right, Whitney wants 10. Deuce, Eric, Annis, which ones you guys want?
I was going to say, can we go to the top one, the 10G one, 109G?
109G, the one at the very top?
Yeah, the one,
Okay.
the 2 that you split, the one on the left.
Okay, I'll come back to that one. All right, Eric, Deuce, which one you going? Which one?
Can you do 4?
4?
Question number 4.
Okay. And then, Deuce, which one?
Miss Payton,
Yes.
when we do this for homework, can we just like take a picture of it and then upload it?
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
And we can also just type it in on here, right?
Yeah, you can just, so on the sheet, you can just type in the answers. You don't have to show me, you can do all the moving the decimal on your paper, and if you want to just type the answers on the sheet, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Deuce, did you figure out one you want to do?
12.
12. All right. So let's do these, and then I'll go back and do Anna's one. Then if I can get some more in, we'll do those. All right, number 4. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Okay. All right, we got 5.6 kilograms. This one has a decimal. That's fantastic. All right. Kilograms. We are in the kilo box, which would be right here, right? And we're trying to go to grams, which is in what box? Which box?
Basic unit.
Basic unit, yes. So 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So I'm going to move this decimal. 1, 2, 3 places to the right. Let me put in some zeros right here. This is 5,600. All right, that's that one. All right, number 10, 5.6 meters, and we're trying to get to centimeters. Ooh, okay. Oops, sorry. All right, 5.6 meters. You don't have to write the meters. 5.6, okay. And we're in the, I think we're in the basic box. Yes, not in the milli box because there's nothing behind that first M. Okay, so we're in the basic box. Where are we moving to?
Center.
Centi, 1, 2, 2 places to the right. 1, 2. Here's my new one. So there's already a 6 in that one, so there's just a 0 right there. So that's 560. Okay. All right, then we had number 12, 2,500. Decimals always at the end if you don't see it. All right, and we're moving to, we're in the, Faith, can you tell us what box we're in, which one we're moving to?
Basic unit.
Mm-hmm. And we're moving to which one?
The first box.
Yep.
K.
Yes, okay, very nice. 1, 2, 3. So 3 places. This time we're going to the left. So 1, 2, 3 places to the left right here. So that is 2.5. Very nice. All right, we probably got time to do Annis's and maybe one more. So he wanted me to do one on the front page. So I'm going to scroll back up. Can I scroll up or you guys still writing? I'll wait just a second. All right, can I scroll and now I'll put it back on here, okay? All right, I'm gonna scroll and do Annis's one and then we can come back. All right, was it this one right here, Annis?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got 109 grams, 109. My decimal is right here because it's always in the back. All right, and then we are starting in the base box because that's just a G. And I'm going to kilograms. So 1, 2, 3. 3 places to the left. All right, so I'm going to move this 1, 2, 3 places to the left. Here's my new decimal. So this is 0.109. And you don't have to, but if you want to put a 0 right there, you can. All right, I'm going to sit right here in case you have more questions, but you are just finishing. So you don't have that many. You got this one right here. And then you got the ones that we didn't finish on the second page, okay? It is definitely better to be doing these on paper though, okay? Just double check when you're moving your decimals, okay? You guys have a good evening and a great weekend. I will see you on Monday. I'm gonna sit right here, so if anybody wants to hang around and do some more problems or have